चलिए अब देखते हैं हम क्वेश्चन नंबर 8। ठीक है, क्वेश्चन नंबर 8, बिलो टू स्टेटमेंट्स। क्वेश्चन नंबर 8 है, बिलो टू स्टेटमेंट्स आर गिवन स्टेटमेंट ए और उसके साथ क्या है, रीजन है। क्विट इंडिया मूवमेंट सक्सीडेड इन अवेकनिंग पीपल एंड टू इन्फ्यूज करेज इन पीपल। रीजन देख लेते हैं। द स्लोगन डू और डाई पुट अ लास्टिंग इम्पैक्ट ऑन द पीपल्स माइंड। तो देखो कैसे कैसे करके क्या लिखा हुआ, इन द कॉन्टेक्स्ट ऑफ द above which of the following options is or are correct, both A and R are true but R is the and R is the right explanation of A। इस तरीके के भी देखो क्वेश्चंस आ रखे हैं भाई। पहले both A and R are true, out R is not the correct explanation of A। A is true but R is false, A is false but R is true। ठीक है, करना खुद है। एक बार देखते हैं क्या चाहिए। The Quit India movement, also known as the August movement, was a significant civil disobedience movement launched by the Indian National Congress during World War II. It called for the end of the British rule in India and took place in the backdrop of the war and mounting discontent due to the famine and economic distress. Background: World War II or Cripps Mission 1942. World War II. With the outbreak of the World War II in 1939, the British unilaterally, एक मिनट है, background, World War II. With the outbreak of World War II in 1939, the British unilaterally brought India into the war without consulting Indian leaders. This led to the resignation of Congress ministers in the provinces. Cripps Mission 1942. Prior to the Quiet India movement, the British government sent Sir Stafford Cripps to India to negotiate a settlement with the Indian leaders. The mission proposed a dominant status for India after the war and South Indian cooperation during the war. However, the proposal fell short of Indian aspirations for immediate independence, leading to its rejections by the INC. Key events of the Quit India movement: call for mass protest. On August 8, 1942, Mahatma Gandhi, in his speech at Gwalior Tank Maidan, now known as Agast Kranti Maidan in Gwalior Tank Maidan, now known as Agast Kranti Maidan in Mumbai, called for a non-violent do or die struggle against British rule. He urged Indians to step out and demand the British to quit India. Widespread protest. Following Gandhi's call, there were widespread protest, strikes and demonstration across the country. Government buildings were targeted, telegraph lines were cut and railways were sabotaged. Arrest. The British administration reacted swiftly and arrest. The British administration reacted swiftly and repressively. Key leaders of INC, including Mahatma Gandhi, Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, and others, were arrested immediately and kept in detention for the duration of the war. Violence and repressions. In the absence of the major leaders, the movement became leaderless, leading to instances of violence in some regions. The British responded with mass detention, public flogging, and widespread repressions. Thousands of activists were arrested and many were killed in police firings. End of movement. The movement continues in various forms until 1944, but gradually waned due to intense repressions by British and the lack of directions from incarcerated leaders. Significance of the Quit India movement: unwavering demands for independence, mass participation, shift in British attitude, foundation for post-war negotiation. Significance: unwavering demand for independence. The Quit India movement was an unequivocal demand for immediate independence, marking a departure from the earlier stance of dominion status. Mass participation. The movement saw widespread participation from people across the country, transcending barriers of caste, religion, and region. Shift in British attitude. The intensity of the movement and the challenges of the ongoing war made the British realize that maintaining control over India in the post-war world would be challenging. Foundation for post-war negotiation. The movement set the stage for post-war negotiations, which eventually led to the India's independence in 1947. In essence, the Quit India movement was a decisive phase in India's struggle for independence, reflecting the Indian masses' determination to end colonial rule. The slogan "Do or Die, Karo ya Maro" in Hindi is associated with Mahatma Gandhi and the Quit India movement of 1942. On August 8, 1942, during the speech at the Gowalia Tank Maidan in Bombay, now Mumbai, Mahatma Gandhi gave a call for determined but passive resistance against British rule, urging Indians to start a non-violent mass protest demanding an end to British rule in India. In his passionate speech, he emphasized the urgency and seriousness of the situation with the phrase "Do or Die." The slogan encapsulated the sentiment of the time, indicating that Indians should be determined in their resistance and be prepared for the ultimate sacrifice in their quest for independence. It was called for immediate action, emphasizing that the time for the negotiation or compromises was over and that the only acceptable outcome was the end of the British rule. The "Do or Die" slogan became a rallying cry during the Quit India movement, inspiring countless individuals to participate in the struggle for freedom. It is remembered as one of the most potent and influential slogans in the history of India's freedom movement. और देखते हैं क्वेश्चन किस तरीके से आया था. क्वेश्चन नंबर 9 को हम देखते हैं. तो लिखा हुआ मैच लिस्ट फर्स्ट एंड लिस्ट सेकंड एंड चूज द करेक्ट आंसर फ्रॉम द कोड्स गिवन बिलो. देखो लिस्ट 1 देख लेते हैं और लिस्ट 2 देख लेते हैं. मदन मोहन मालवीय, मोतीलाल नेहरू, एनी बेसेंट, गोपाल कृष्ण गोखले. और फिर है होम रूल लीग फाउंडर ऑफ सर्वेंट्स ऑफ इंडिया सोसाइटी, फाउंडर ऑफ हिंदी यूनिवर्सिटी और कॉन्स्टिट्यूटेड द स्वराज पार्टी अलॉन्ग विद अदर पीपल. करना आपको खुद है, थोड़ा सा पढ़ के देखते हैं इन सब के बारे में. ठीक है. मदन मोहन मालवीय 1861 to 1946 was an influential Indian educationist, politician and freedom fighter known for his role in the establishment of Banaras Hindu University BHU in Varanasi. Due to his profound impact on education and his role in the Indian independence movement, he is fondly remembered as Mahamana. ठीक है. Early life and education. Born on December 25, 1861 in Allahabad, Malviya pursued his education in Sanskrit, Indian scriptures and English literature. Key contribution and achievement. Banaras Hindu University BHU. Madan Mohan Malviya most enduring legacy is the establishment of BHU in 1916. Today BHU is one of the largest residential university in Asia, offering a range of disciplines. Malviya vision was to blend the best of Indian education called Vedic education with the best tradition of Western education. Indian National Congress INC. Malviya was an active participant in the freedom movement and was a prominent leader of the INC. He served as the president of the INC 4 times in 1909, 1918, 1930, 1932. Promotion of Hindi. Malviya was a staunch supporter of the Hindi language and played a significant role in the promotion of Hindi as a national language. He founded the Hindi Prachar Sabha to promote the use of Hindi. Newspaper initiative. He was the founder of the newspaper The Leader, याद रखना भैया, and was also associated with the Hindustan Times. ठीक है. Advocate for Hindu rights. He played a crucial role in the Hindu Mahasabha and advocated for the right of Hindus, including working towards the abolition of untouchability and promoting the idea of a common civil code. फिर role in public affairs. Malviya was also a member of the Imperial Legislative Council and later a member of Indian Legislative Assembly. Legacy देख लेते हैं. In recognition of his contribution to the nation, Malviya was posthumously conferred the Bharat Ratna, India's highest civilian award in 2014. ठीक है. Madan Mohan Malviya's emphasis on education, nationalistic fervor and commitment to social reforms have left a lasting impact on Indian society. ठीक है जी. आगे देखते हैं. मोतीलाल नेहरू 1861 to 1931 was an influential lawyer, activist and politician in India during the pre-independence era. He was a prominent leader of the Indian National Congress and played a significant role in India's struggle for independence from British colonial rule. Notably, he was also the father of Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Prime Minister of India, and the patriarch of the Nehru-Gandhi family, which has produced several prominent leaders in India. Key highlights देख लेते हैं. Key highlights of Motilal Nehru's life. Early life and career. Born in May 6, 1861 in Delhi, Motilal Nehru was educated in India and England. He became a successful lawyer with a practice in Allahabad High Court. Entry into politics. Drawn to the freedom struggle, Motilal Nehru gradually shifted his focus from law to politics. He joined the INC and became an influential leader within the party. Moderate versus extremist. Initially, Motilal was a part of the moderate faction within the INC, advocating for constitutional method to achieve self-governance. However, influenced by the non-cooperation movement initiated by Mahatma Gandhi, he later aligned with the more radical extremist faction. ठीक है. Nehru report. In 1928, Motilal Nehru chaired a committee tasked with drafting a constitution for India. The resultant Nehru report was an attempt to outline a version of the constitution if the British government failed to accept the demands of the Indians. The report recommended dominion status for India, a federal setup, and linguistic reorganization of provinces, among other suggestions. फिर स्वराज पार्टी. Disillusioned with the suspension of the non-cooperation movement after the Chauri Chaura incident in 1922, Motilal Nehru and Chittaranjan Das founded the Swaraj Party within the INC to offer a more direct opposition to British rule. The party aimed to achieve reforms by entering the legislative councils and sabotaging British efforts from within. फिर पर्सनल लाइफ में Motilal Nehru family played a significant role in India's political scene. His son Jawaharlal Nehru went on to become India's first Prime Minister. His granddaughter Indira Gandhi and great-grandson Rajiv Gandhi also served as Prime Minister of India. Legacy. Motilal Nehru passed away on February 6, 1931. His commitment to India's freedom struggle, combined with his vision for an independent India, left a lasting legacy. The Nehru family home in Allahabad, Anand Bhavan, which witnessed several critical decisions and meetings related to the freedom struggle, is now a museum showcasing the Nehru family's contribution to India's independence. ठीक है. Overall, Motilal Nehru was a key figure in India's fight for freedom, and laid the groundwork for the Nehru-Gandhi dynasty, significant influence on Indian politics. ठीक है. आगे देखते हैं. एनी बेसेंट 1847-1933 was a British socialist, theosophist, Freemason, supporter of India and Irish self-rule and women's rights activist. She became a prominent figure in Indian politics and the Indian freedom struggle despite her British origins, and also played a pivotal in the global theosophical movement. Key highlights of Annie Besant life and work. Early life in England. Annie Besant was born on October 1st, 1847 in London. Initially a devout Christian, she later turned to secularism and became associated with prominent free thinker of her time. social and political social and political activism in the UK. Before her involvement with India, Besant was active in various social and political causes in Britain. She was a supporter of the right of workers, birth control, and secularism. She also became involved in Irish nationalism through her association with Charles Bradlaugh, with who she co-published a controversial book on birth control, leading to a notorious court trial. Theosophical Society. In the late 19th century, Besant became deeply involved with the Theosophical Society, a spiritual movement founded in 1875 by Helen Blavatsky. Helen Blavatsky. Besant's association with the Theosophy led her to India as the society drew heavily from Hindu and Buddhist philosophies. Work in India. Moving to India in 1893, Besant quickly immersed herself in the country's spiritual and political life. She advocated for Indian self-rule or home rule and became a leader within the Indian National Congress (INC). In 1917, she had the distinctions of being the first woman president of the INC. The Home Rule Movement. Besant launched the All India Home Rule League in 1916 alongside Lokmanya Bal Gangadhar Tilak. The movement sought to achieve self-governance for India within the British Empire, drawing inspirations from the Irish Home Rule movement. Theosophical activist in India. Besant set up the headquarters for the Theosophical Society in Adyar, Chennai. She also played a role in the establishment of the Central Hindu College, which later became the Banaras Hindu University, one of the India's premier institutions of higher learning. Support for Jiddu Krishnamurti. Besant proclaimed Jiddu Krishnamurti, a young Indian boy, as the new world teacher or the vehicle for the Maitreya Buddha. She provided guidance and support for Krishnamurti's education and global tours. However, Krishnamurti later disassociated himself from the role of the world teacher and charted his path as an independent spiritual teacher. Later life and legacy. Annie Besant passed away on October 20, 1933 in Adyar, India. Her multifaceted legacy includes her significant contribution to the Indian nationalism, the global theosophical movement, and various social causes. Besant's commitment to India's freedom and her efforts to promote its ancient freedom on the global stage make her unique and a revered figure in Indian history. ठीक है, आगे देखते हैं गोपाल कृष्ण गोखले 1866 to 1915 was one of the pioneering leader in the Indian national movement and astute politician and social reformer. He was a senior leader of the Indian National Congress (INC) and also the founder of the Servants of India Society. Gokhle's role in the early phase of India's freedom movement was instrumental, and his influence extended to many other leaders, mostly notably Mahatma Gandhi. Key aspects of Gopal Krishna Gokhale's life and work. Early life. Born on May 9, 1866 in Ratnagiri, Maharashtra, Gokhale was influenced by the reformist environment of the late 19th century Western Indian region. He completed his education in Pune and became involved in public life from a young age. Political career. Gokhale joined the INC and quickly rose through its rank. His moderate views and emphasis on constitutional agitation distinguished him from the more radical extremists within the Congress like Bal Gangadhar Tilak. Gokhale believed in reform within the system and emphasized dialogue, negotiation, and reforms over direct confrontation. Servants of India Society. In 1905, Gokhale founded the Servants of India Society, an organization dedicated to promoting education, healthcare, sanitation, and other social reforms. The society aimed to train individuals who would work towards the betterment of society and upliftment of the underprivileged. Mentorship of Gandhi, one of the Gokhale's most enduring legacies in his mentorship of Mahatma Gandhi. Gandhi considered Gokhale his political guru, although these methods differed. Gokhale was a moderate while Gandhi believed in mass civil disobedience. The respect between the two was profound. Gandhi's time in South Africa overlapped with Gokhale's visit there, deepening their bond. Social reforms. Gokhale was a strong advocate for social reforms. He was against the deep rooted caste system and worked towards the upliftment of the untouchables. He also championed the cause of women's rights. Legacy. Gokhale's moderate approach was often criticized by the extremist factions of the INC, but his emphasis on constitutional methods and social reforms made a lasting impact on the Indian freedom movement. His methods of moderate political agitations led the groundwork for future negotiation between the British and Indians on the path of independence. Death. Gopal Krishna Gokhale passed away on February 19, 1915. His legacy as a bridge between the older and the newer modes of political agitation in India, and as a mentor to figures like Gandhi, ensures his prominent place in the annals of Indian history. In essence, Gokhale's life and work reflect a crucial phase in India's freedom struggle when the seeds of self-governance and social reforms were being sown, laying the foundation for the larger movements that were to follow. आगे देखते हैं. The Home Rule League. इसको देखते हैं. The Home Rule League movement was a significant development in the Indian freedom struggle against British colonial rule. Initiated in the early 20th century, the movement sought to achieve self-governance or home rule for India within the British Empire, drawing inspiration from the Irish Home Rule movement. Key aspect of the Home Rule League movement. Background. By the early 20th century, the demand for greater self-governance had grown stronger in India. However, the Indian National Congress, the primary party leading the nationalist movement, was divided between the moderates and the extremists. The Home Rule League movement sought to bridge these divisions and present a united demand for self-governance. Founding leaders. Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Annie Besant. Two prominent leaders launched the Home Rule Leagues. Bal Gangadhar Tilak. After his release from prison in 1914, Tilak took the initiative to propagate the idea of home rule. In April 1916, he established the Home Rule League in Maharashtra, Karnataka and central provinces and Berar. Annie Besant, an influential British theosophist and a supporter of Indian self-rule, Besant founded the All India Home Rule League in September 1916, which covered the rest of India except the regions under Tilak's league. Demands. The primary objective of the Home Rule League was to attain self-governance for India within the British Empire, similar to the dominion status enjoyed by the countries like Canada and Australia. The League advocated for the expansion of the legislative councils and greater participation of Indians in governance. Methods. The leagues used various means to gather support. Public meetings, lectures and discussions to raise political awareness, distribution of pamphlets and writing promoting the idea of home rule. Establishment of reading rooms and libraries to spread knowledge about the movement. Impact. The Home Rule League movement gathered substantial momentum between 1916 and 1918. The leagues played a pivotal role in making the demand for self-governance more mainstream. The momentum combined with the global situation of World War I and the subsequent Montagu-Chelmsford reforms contributed to the British government decisions to introduce limited reforms in the Government of India Act 1919. Decline. After the Montagu-Chelmsford reforms and the subsequent events, including the Jallianwala massacre in 1919, the launch of the non-cooperation movement in 1920, the focus of the Indian freedom struggle shifted. The home rule leagues gradually lost prominence as newer strategies and movements took center stage. In a sense, the Home Rule League movement marked a significant transitions in India's struggle for independence, bridging the gap between the early constitutional demands of the INC and the mass movement led by Mahatma Gandhi in the subsequent decades. Okay. आगे देखते हैं सर्वेंट्स ऑफ इंडिया सोसाइटी. इसमें क्या है, एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन फाउंडेड बाय गोपाल कृष्ण गोखले इन 1905. द सोसाइटी वॉज established with the primary goal of promoting social and human development, thereby heading India's progress. Key aspects of the Servants of India Society. Foundation. Gopal Krishna Gokhale, one of the foremost leader of the Indian national movement, founded the Servants of India Society in Pune, Maharashtra in 1905. The main objective of the society was to train Indians to raise their voices on various civic issues like sanitation, education, healthcare, and more, and to work selflessly for the betterment of society. The organization aimed to cultivate dedicated workers to serve the underprivileged and marginalized section of society. Activities. Members of the society committed themselves to work in various spheres, promoting education among the masses, working on health initiatives, especially in area hit by epidemics, advocacy for the upliftment of the downtrodden and marginalized, including the lower caste and tribal communities, campaigning the social reforms like the eradication of untouchability and promoting of women's rights. Membership. Becoming a member of the Servant of India Society involved a rigorous process. Potential members underwent a probationary period during which they were expected to acquaint themselves with the living condition of ordinary Indians, understand their problems, and identify possible solutions. Upon successful completion of this period, they were admitted as full-time members, dedicating their lives to the services of society. Legacy. The Servants of India Society played a pivotal role during its time, emphasized the importance of selfless service and societal upliftment. Its members worked tirelessly across various parts of India, addressing key issues and setting the foundation for many social reforms. The organization is less prominent today but remains an integral part of the India's socio-political history. The Servants of India Society reflects Gokhale's vision of a nation where dedicated individuals work towards societal betterment, not for the personal gain but out of sense of duty and commitment to the larger good. Banaras Hindu family, which was founded by Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya in 1960 in Varanasi, Uttar Pradesh, India. While BHU is not exclusively Hindu university, it has played a significant role in the promotion of the Hindi language among many other disciplines. Key points about Banaras Hindu University. Founding vision. Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya envisioned BHU as a place where the best of the Indian education would be combined with the best of the Western learning. He sought to establish an institution that would have a transformative impact on India's education landscape. Diverse faculties. BHU is one of the India's premier institution and offers a wide range of programs spanning arts, sciences, commerce, engineering, performing arts, law, agriculture, and more. Promotion of Hindi. The university has always been a strong proponent of the Hindi language. Its Faculty of Arts has a dedicated department for Hindi, which offers various undergraduate, postgraduate, and doctorate programs. BHU has contributed significantly to Hindi literature, linguistics, and language studies. Legacy. Over the year, BHU has produced numerous distinguished alumni who have made significant contribution in various fields. The university is sprawling campus also houses the historic Vishwanath temple and is a hub of culture and intellectual activity. Cultural importance. BHU has always been at the forefront of cultural revival. The university has been a focal point for the promotion of Indian traditions, art, music and culture. Modern relevance. While rooted in traditional values, BHU has continually evolved to stay relevant in modern times. It has embraced technological advancement and modern pedagogical methods to ensure its students receive a well-rounded education. In summary, while Banaras Hindu family is not a strictly a Hindu university, its contribution to the promotion and study of the Hindi language, along with its broader impact on India's educational and cultural landscape, is immense. एक और है द स्वराज पार्टी. The Swaraj Party was an Indian political party that emerged in the early 1920s as a result of a split within the Indian National Congress (INC), the primary nationalist movement fighting for India's independence from British rule. The genesis of the Swaraj Party can be traced to the differences in strategies and ideology within the INC leadership following the suspension of the non-cooperation movement in 1922. Key aspects of the Swaraj Party. Background. Mahatma Gandhi has launched the non-cooperative movement in 1920, aiming for a mass protest against British rule. However, after the violent incident in Chauri Chaura in 1922, where a mob set a police station on fire, leading to the death of 22 policemen, Gandhi decided to abruptly call off the movement. He felt that the people were not yet ready for non-violent resistance. This decision led to a split within the INC. Formation. Disillusioned by the Gandhi's decision to suspend the non-cooperation movement and believing that a political activism within the Legislative Council could be effective strategy against British rule, leaders like Motilal Nehru and Chittaranjan Das proposed the formation of a separate group. This led to the establishment of the Swaraj Party in January 1923. Objective. The primary aim of the Swaraj Party was to achieve self-rule, Swaraj for India, by entering the British-sponsored councils and obstructing the governance from within. They plan to render the administrative machinery ineffective and force the British to grant more powers to Indians. Electoral success. In the election held in 1923, the Swaraj Party achieved significant success. They managed to secure a substantial number of seats in the Central Legislative Assembly and various provincial assemblies. Differences with INC. While the INC under Gandhi's leadership was focused on non-violent resistance and mass movement to achieve independence, the Swaraj Party believed in legislative tactics. They wanted to use the very instruments of governance that the British had introduced to challenge and obstruct colonial rule. Decline. By the late 1920s, the influence of the Swaraj Party began to wane. The death of the leader Chittaranjan Das in 1925 was a significant blow. Many of its members either returned to the Congress fold or become less active politically. Legacy. Though short-lived, the Swaraj Party played a crucial role in keeping the movement of the nationalist movement alive during a period of relative political inactivity. It highlighted the divergent strategies within the larger independence movement and showcased the willingness of Indian leaders to adapt and experiment with different methods to challenge British rule. In essence, the Swaraj Party represents a chapter in India's freedom struggle where leaders, despite their shared objectives of independence, diverged in their methodologies and strategies. क्वेश्चन नंबर 10 भी देख लेते हैं. क्वेश्चन नंबर 10 देखो फिर. तो क्वेश्चन नंबर 10 आया था, इन इंडियन नेशनल कांग्रेस सूरत स्प्लिट अकर इन द ईयर 1905, 1906, 1907, 1908. पढ़ के देखते हैं एक बार, ठीक है. The Surat split refers to the division within the Indian National Congress (INC), the premier body leading the freedom struggle against British colonial rule in India. This split occurred in 1907 during the INC session held in the Surat, Gujarat, and led to a bifurcation between the moderates and the extremists. Background and causes of the split. Differing strategies. By the early 20th century, the INC had become a significant force opposing British rule. However, there were two primary thought process within the party. The moderates, led by the leaders like Dadabhai Nehruji, Dinso Vacha, Gopal Krishna Gokhale, believed in constitutional methods, petition and reforms. The extremists, led by the Bal Gangadhar Tilak, Bipin Chandra Pal and Lala Lajpat Rai, often referred to as the Lal Bal Part Trio, advocated for direct action and were willing to adopt more radical methods. Catalyzing event. The partition of Bengal in 1905 by Lord Curzon, the then Viceroy of India, into East Bengal and Assam and West Bengal on purported administration grounds was actually aimed at dividing and weakening the nationalist movement. This movement gave a significant boost to the extremists who advocated for more direct action against the British. The anti-partition agitation further deepened the divide between the two factions. Session dynamics. The Surat session in the INC in December 1907 was marked by chaos. There was disagreement over the selection of the INC president, with the moderates favouring Dr. Ras Bihari Ghosh and the extremists supporting Lala Lajpat Rai. The disagreements led to the altercations and the sessions ended is disorder. Aftermath of split, weakened INC. The immediate effect of the Surat split was a weakened Congress. The moderates retained control of the INC while the extremists were sidelined. British government. The British, realizing the rift, took advantage of the situation. They implemented repressive measures like the Morley-Minto reforms 1909 and the Rowlatt Act 1990 to further suppress the nationalist movement. Reconciliation. By 1916, both factions realized the necessity of presenting a united front against British rule. The Lucknow session of INC in 1960 marked the reunion of the two factions, facilitated by Bal Gangadhar Tilak and Annie Besant, leading to the signing of the Lucknow Pact. Significance देख लेते हैं. The Surat split is a crucial event in India's struggle for independence. It showcased the diverse ideologies and methods within the broader freedom movement. The split, though detrimental in the short run, led to a more inclusive and comprehensive strategies against British colonialism in the subsequent years. Thank you. आगे नेक्स्ट क्लास में देखेंगे.